Everyone, and thank you so much for coming over. As promised by the Guam Department of Education, we are going to update our community. For now, it's for the media briefing. Of course, I'd like to introduce to you our chair, committee chair, Mr. Angel Sablan, and of course, GDOE Superintendent Dr. Eric Swanson. As we promised, we will be transparent, and we'll start the media briefing.
Yes, thank you, Tess. I'm Angel Sablan, the chair of the Health and Safety Committee of the Board of Education and also vice chair of the Board of Education. I called this press conference or meeting with you guys because, yes, the real reason is we want to be transparent as to what's going on in our schools, along with the superintendent, and let you know firsthand what is happening, where it's happening, and when it's happening. And so today I can tell you that with certainty that on Thursday, August 15th, 23 schools will open. We will give you a list and I can name them down here so that the public can know who they are. The 23 schools opening on August 15th, Thursday, are Atacao Elementary School, Agani Heights Elementary School, Astumbo Elementary School, VP Carbolito Elementary School, CL Titano Elementary School, H.S. Truman Elementary School, L.B. Johnson Elementary School, Ligon Elementary School, M.A. Sablan Elementary School, M.A. Ojoa Elementary School, M.U. Lujan Elementary School, Tamuning Elementary School, Waddingell Elementary School, A.I. Johnston Middle School, Ocean View Middle School, JFK High School, along with Simon Sanchez since they're in double sessions, Inalahan Elementary School, Mauricio Martes Elementary School, LP Antalan Middle School, Talafofo Elementary School, and the Tijan High School, along with the J.P. Torres Success Academy. These are the schools that will open on Thursday, August 15th. Definitely. We may add two more schools to this list depending on the outcome of their inspections that are happening right now. Uh, those two schools are Astumbo Middle School and Ordot-Chalan Pago Elementary School. They are undergoing inspection right now. It is not definite that they will open on Thursday. Like I said, it actually depends on the outcome of their inspections. If they pass inspection, we still need to give a 24-hour notice, bus operations, food, and all of that, and also the stakeholders and the parents of that school. So most likely they will not be open on Thursday along with the 23, but they will be open as soon as possible after that date. The other schools that were not mentioned here are schools that have not been inspected. They are being scheduled for inspection, or schools that have major work to be done and will not have any inspection done in the next few weeks. We're also looking at having schools that already have their sanitary permit but are expiring at the end of this month. Mr. Superintendent, is that correct?
Yes.
At the end of this month because their annual permit is up and it will expire. And those schools, we will let you know as we do our daily brief, because we're going to do this briefing daily to give you the status of the schools. But we do have 6 schools that are opening on Thursday, but are also up for reinspection by the end of this month. We are confident that they will continue to pass inspection by the end of this month so that they will remain open. I would also like to let you know that the executive branch to the governor has asked all the departments and agencies besides the Department of Public Health and Social Services to be teamed up with a school that is not opening on Thursday. So every school, these 18 schools that are not opening, will have 1 or 2 agencies adopting them, where the personnel from these agencies that are skilled in plumbing, electrical, whatever it is that is needed in the school to get it ready for inspection and passing. Those agencies have already been notified. They'll be coming to a meeting tomorrow of Guam to see where they're going and what schools they are helping. But we're very thankful that the governor has decided to go ahead, even though she was not given the authority to take over the GDOE. She has asked her agencies to come out and help prepare the schools for their inspection and for their passing.
This is called the SORT program, right?
It's called the Adopt to School program. But the group that's handling it is called SORT, the School Opening Readiness Team. But it's an Adopt a School program. So one or two agencies, let's say Astumbo, there'll be two agencies who adopt that school, find out from the principal what needs to be done, how it can be done, when it can be done, and when it can be completed, so that we, the superintendent, can go ahead and ask for that inspection. Because remember, public health will not come to a school to inspect unless the superintendent says, please, we're ready, come and inspect our school. I would also like to notify the public that there are some schools that are not going to open in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on the severity of the degree of unpassable demerits that they're going to get. But there is a plan. There is a plan for those schools. They will come to school in some form, and the superintendent will have that plan where they will team up with another school, and there is alternate days. Mr. Superintendent, you can chime in here. Alternate days or double sessions, or whatever have you. But we do expect to have every child that needs to go to school going to school by
by the end of next week.
by the end of next week. Whether the school is open or not, that student is going to go to either another school or have another plan where they can start their learning.
So to clarify, GDOE then is working on the contingency plan for the remaining 18 campuses, am I correct?
Well, the 18 campuses,
Not the campuses, but the student populations
yes,
from those
yes,
campuses to be integrated into some other campus.
that's correct, if they cannot pass inspection. But we are confident that more than half of those 18 are going to pass inspection.
Is that contingency plan done already, or?
It's being finalized now. We don't want to release it yet, but by Friday of this week, that plan should be ready for the public.
And so are we looking at a mixture of a modified bell schedule for some schools, a mixture of, what do you call it?
Days?
Every other day.
Well, I'll let the superintendent speak to that.
We did use that model last year for alternating days, and that's one that we're considering, because it's really important that we have elementary students when they're in the program to be face-to-face and not online. High school students, there's quite a bit of our program that we can put online. So it's a variety depending on the grade level and the specific circumstances. And we have a couple of schools that may be able to go ahead and merge with another on all of one campus and be face-to-face every day. But it's too early to announce that because we're still working through the details of enrollment, the number of students we have, and where our staffing is and where the inspections are. Public health is working really hard to accelerate the inspection rate because they understand, as we do, the importance of getting all the kids back in school.
How many of the 18 schools have such severe repair needs that it'll take until next semester to reopen those campuses?
There's one of the things we're looking at doing is, for example, some of our high schools are physically large campuses, but we don't use all of the facilities as it is. So the principals are working to get a reduced size part of their campus ready and inspected, and so they can go back on campus. And then also several of these cases, there's schools that are going to be in the refurbishment process. So that gets our footprint smaller, the part we have to keep clean and regulated, and also gives the contractors more room to maneuver and do their work.
So basically the timeline is kind of fluid right now?
It is fluid, but we have to get everybody in the program in instruction because we still have the 180-day requirement.
Thanks for bringing that up because I wanted to ask how does this, for the August 15 students, for the students who will return on August 15, and then for the students who will return a week after that, what's going to go on with the currently scheduled end of school year, May 23, 2025 date? What's going to happen with the Christmas breaks, the Easter break, so that you are able to have the 180 days and also allow for some cushion makeup days in case of an unforeseen circumstance?
We have 2 calendars already developed, one with each of the start dates, and we've pulled professional development days out. We've taken break days out, just as we had to do last year when we had the tropical storm go through and change our schedule by 3 days. I will say that if we were to have another weather event like that, then we'd have to go back and add days at the end of the school year. But we've got it so we can finish on time and have 180 days of instruction.
So what was originally a cushion you're using now?
As a
And
professional development
have
days,
to build in
yes.
something
Exactly,
else,
and we'll publish those calendars as well.
So we do have those updated school calendars, and we have a meeting with the board on Wednesday. Once we approve those updated calendars, then we'll release it to the public. But we certainly are aware that these holidays, these other days that may come up, emergency, knock on wood that we don't have any more of this stuff. But we are also working with the union because this is part of the contract. There's the 180 days, and so these are kind of things that are still fluid, but certainly we're aware of it, and we'll be transparent. Once we find out this is the route we're taking, this is the route the union is providing to us, this is the route that the board wants to do, we'll just let that all up to you so that everybody understands and knows where we're going.
When might you be able to release the modified calendar?
Like I said, we have a meeting, emergency meeting on Wednesday, and so probably that afternoon or the very next morning.
A board meeting?
Yes,
Correct.
we have a board meeting, yes.
The board has to adopt the calendar and approve it.
Yeah.
I know the 8 refurb schools have been kind of a big question mark. Are they for sure going to be on some sort of a modified schedule? Do you think that some of them might be able to go back to their own campus next week?
The plan is for them, and we've been working with the contractor on this, to develop the work plan for the schools, and we have to do that very carefully. The intent is for them to go back on their campus, but be in an established pattern and prepared for moving to different parts of the campus while other parts are under construction. So there's quite a bit of coordination that's going on between the building principals and the safety officers for the contractor.
And I also like to
school by
say,
school.
I like also to say that our contractors that presently have contracts with the schools, they're working 7 days a week to make sure they come up to speed and at least assist us in completing their contracts. One of them is the air conditioning contract. One of them is a school grass cutting contract. So they're not stopping at 5 o'clock or not working on. They're going straight through, trying to assist us. We'd also like to be very thankful to all these different organizations that have come out, especially over this past weekend, come out to the different schools and helping in painting and cutting grass and fixing things that needs to be fixed. And some of them don't even know anybody in the schools, but yet they come out to assist. And so we welcome that. And of course, we welcome the different departments and agencies that are coming up. This should be a one education team effort for the whole island. Why it's come to this point and this late, I can't blame the superintendent for everything that has happened.
Who do you blame?
Well, I wasn't even on the board then, Troy. So
When you say then, do you mean
I wasn't on the board when
the
the previous superintendent was here, so I don't know.
So you're talking about the DOE's delayed use of federal funds for repairs that occurred prior to the current board and the current superintendent.
That's something that still needs to be answered, but the results are showing. And so, like I said, he's been on board for just a year now. I know he's trying his best, but there's going to come to a point too where I can't keep saying it's because of the previous superintendent. He's going to have to take some ownership to what's going on, and he's trying, but like I said, we really need the assistance of everybody to pitch in. And like he says, every child is going to go to school whether or not it passes inspection, because they'll be getting an alternative plan to what they go, how they're going to learn, whether it's joining another school, online, or alternate days, things like that. So we don't look at any student not being in a school by the end of this month. They should all be in a school.
Dr. Swanson, have you held any of your employees who were here prior to you getting on board to account for the delay in spending these federal monies, or obligating them, contracting, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, I think there's a misconception about which kind of money has been obligated to use. Where I've found areas that are a real problem was in how some of the specifications were developed, and that's caused problems. So those folks are no longer with us.
Understood. And on the issue of collaboration, two things. One is, how can volunteers help out? Let's say you have a construction company that wants to donate green plywood to Machinano Elementary School. Like, what's the process?
We had a company that built the canopy for our school this past weekend, and no cost to DOE. They contact directly to the school, or of course they can contact the superintendent's office, and they'll farm them out to
We'll
our
them
facilities
to
and
the
management
principal.
people. Yeah.
And on the issue of collaboration, has any collaboration with stakeholders, other government agencies, et cetera, occurred to figure out whether any interventions are needed for your students who have disabilities, and also for your poorer students who rely on school meals, the free lunch program? This delay in the opening of school obviously has delayed either that nutrition or the support services needed for.
And we're very sensitive to that.
So what
that's why we're making sure that every child is in a school or is doing something by the end of this month, because we are truly aware that some of them, for being in a school, is the only real peace they have, or the only food they have, that can help them make it through the day. And so if we keep delaying and not opening the schools, those kids are the ones hurting. It's not us. So we are working. Public health, let me tell you, has been very, very accommodating to us. They are assisting us. And if they see something that is worth a demerit, they're going to say, Mr. Facilities employee, you fix this today, I'll come back tomorrow, and if it's fixed, there's no demerit. We won't ding you. So they're being very accommodating. There's some of these, let's say, cosmetic stuff that is a one-pointer demerit. If we can be able to correct that, they'll do away with it. But one demerit here, one demerit there, one demerit there, it all adds up. So to the 41 demerits, which then you fail. But like I said, I'm very happy that I'm hearing from our facilities and maintenance people that public health has been nothing but accommodating to making sure that they're also sensitive to the needs of our kids, that they need to get back to school.
There are 6 schools that are going to be coming due for another inspection. They have a sanitary permit right now, but they need to get it renewed. What's going to happen with those schools? Is there any possibility that someone opens up and then has to close down because they haven't got an inspection on time? Or, I know Dr. Swanson, you said you would shut them down if they fail. What's going to happen with those 6 schools?
We've already started those inspections. The target is to have them completed before the deadline on that. That's when Mr. Sablan mentioned that the ones at the end of the month that fall out, we intend to have them already recertified. That's where our priority is right now, to get those schools done.
We don't want to go backwards, but you can't foresee whether or not these 6 schools are going to remain passing. We're working very, very hard that they keep their passing grade.
So we're going to try to ensure that the kids that go back are going to stay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Can I ask, high schools are going to go to online learning. It's looking like maybe GW, possibly Southern, and then I think Purdue and FBLG together may not necessarily be back by next week.
Until we can get them inspected.
Right.
They can't use their campus for instruction.
What is the capacity to get all those kids on the online learning? I know we have a whole bunch of laptops we might be able to use, or some kids might not have Wi-Fi. things like that? Are we gonna go to hard packet for any of
We,
them?
we don't want to give a final answer to that because we're still working on those plans. That's why I said by Friday, we'll be more definite as to what will happen to those schools that have to go online or alternate days. But we don't want to announce it now because they may not be going to those online or alternate schools depending on their inspection.
So the contingency plan will be available Friday?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. And we're gonna have this daily briefing. If you still want to come, 4 o'clock every day until we get most of the schools open, because we want to be transparent and let everybody know what's actually going on. We want to tell you what schools are being worked on today, who's there today working on it, what are we doing in those schools to get it ready. And so we're not just going to say schools are being worked on. We're going to tell you which schools are actually being worked on so the parents would know. And so they get some hope that maybe soon, upon inspection and passing, that they will open. But we do have an inspection schedule. We can also release that to you tomorrow when public health does the final listing of where they're going to be and what they're going to be doing, because these 6 schools that are up for reinspection are also mixed into that. So, and I believe that public health is also acquiring inspectors from other agencies to assist them along in this process.
Do we have a dollar figure yet for how much it's gonna cost to pay teachers and staff to extend the school year? Those schools that are starting next week?
That's
Do we have
something
any
that
commitment from the legislature to pay for it?
At this point, with the schedule that we have, there's no extra cost beyond the cost of the maintenance materials that we're using to make repairs. And that I don't have a firm number on that, but we have the funding to do it. We have the manpower to do it, and we're getting it done.
The governor's office has said that the governor for several weeks has asked GDOE for a punch list and also a procurement of the supplies that would be needed to make repairs in each of the schools so that she could detail people over. And as late as this past weekend, they said that they had not received those punch lists from DOE. Is that a true assessment from the governor's office? And if so, why has it taken so long to get them that information and resources?
The listing of materials that we've had that are peculiar and unique to each school we've had, and we've provided that. That wasn't exactly the format that her team was looking for, but we've already revised that and presented it back to them.
And every school of those 18 already has a list of projects that needs to be done. What's missing in that equation, like you said, is the supplies and the materials. And I just came from a meeting where we're working to make sure that from our emergency declaration by the board last Wednesday, that our procurement people here at GDOE start pushing out purchase orders for those supplies and materials. The one hiccup that we have in that equation is US Ed, which the superintendent has already applied for an approval to use some of those money for this emergency. Otherwise, we've already instructed him to use whatever balance of local funds we have, which is about $3 million, that he can immediately use to get these purchase orders out. And I can assure you that probably by tomorrow, when we do our next report, you'll find out that there'll be certain purchase orders that have already been put out for the different organizations or agencies that are going to come into the different schools to start working.
Is there a reason the board didn't ask for this Adopt a School program to happen, prior to the summer starting?
Well, this Adopt a School program is actually something that's been ongoing for years. It just basically was up to an agency or up to a school to decide. I mean, even with me at Parks and Recreation, I got a call from CL Titano, Mr. Sablan. We used to have your department in our school. We haven't seen them yet. Can we work out the program again? Immediately the next day after I responded to her, my people went there and, hey, can you help us, water blast this or paint this area? So why it hasn't gone, monthly, maybe that's something the superintendent could ask, but it's been ongoing for years. And I'll tell you, the enthusiasm of those agencies that I saw today with the SORT group, they're ready to go. They're just waiting for the materials and supplies. And I'm pushing him to please hurry up and get them those materials and supplies.
Dr. Swanson, anything you want to say about your principals, faculty, staff who have been working through this crisis?
Well, first of all, I've got to give them a lot of credit. They're doing the things they need to do to prepare their classrooms. They're doing and teach, but they're also doing a great deal of the work to prepare the actual campus itself. So, for example, I was in the schools that yesterday that are being inspected currently. Not only is our maintenance team there working, so are many of the staff members, and so it's not a quote not in their job description, but they're part of the team and they're working on it.
Mr. Sablan, just one last question for you both, and this is regarding the board of it. How many, yourself included, or who among the board has actually gone out to any of the schools to assist with the cleanup and repairs?
I can't answer for the other. I mean, I know that other board members have gone out. Myself, I've been to a few, but more than that, I've talked to a lot of them, and I've been told what it is that they need. So as a board member, when I get to the board, because this open government law does not allow you to talk to another board member and start to say, hey, this is what we're going to do if we're not in a meeting. We have to be in an official meeting. So when we get together, I do tell them that this is what this school needs, or this is what that school needs. But it's more communications and getting back to us. I used to be a president of an elementary school, Finnegazen Elementary, and it's actually the biggest elementary school on island. And I've been there and I've seen the torn canopies. I've seen the knocked down fences from Mawar and things like that. So I've asked the facilities maintenance people, please get going on those, because Finnegazen is one of those schools that not just once, not just twice, not just three times, that has already been broken into because the fences are down. So as far as the other members, I know that they're all trying to do their best to assist in whatever way they can, because it's not just physical presence that's going to assist the school. It's what can you do on paper, communicating with the superintendent or communicating with the principal. This is what I want to push through in our board meetings to let you know that we're supporting you. So maybe you should, so you should ask that to each individual member. Okay. But like I said, we're going to do this every day.
Until we're across the finish line.
Well, yes, until we get everybody where they're supposed to be. Hopefully, with the help of the community, our whole entire government, and I invite the legislature, I invite the judiciary. The executive branch already has decided that they're going to come and help. So maybe the legislature can give us a bunch of their people. Maybe the judiciary can give us a bunch of their people to come out and join the school and see what they can do. Maybe one weekend, one day, 2 hours, whatever it is that can help a school, these schools that are not going to open on Thursday, assist them so that they can come and be open as soon as possible. No one's stopping them. And they don't need approval from us. They just go to the principal.
What's the phone number they can call if they want to coordinate volunteer work?
Yes.
300, 15 something.
Yeah, it's 1677 671 300 1766.
1766.
Or you can also call the schools. The school, they have their own. They will answer you.
And I pay for my own phone, so I'll give you my phone number. It's 1-671-488-8961. You call me anytime. You have any concerns or ideas or things to offer, things to yell at me at, it's fine. It's 24/7.
Can high school students get fulfill service learning hours by going and helping out?
That's something that I haven't asked the superintendent about it, but it's something that Judy Wampat, the former deputy, is working with Bert Johnson at the Trades Academy. Our school, some of our students have actually gone there and are ready to provide services back to the school. So we're looking at trying to see whether they can do some service learning there, plumbing, electrical, carpentry. We do have students that are currently on that track and we can use to provide service learning.
I'm getting a note that the number is 1677.
Yes,
300,167.
Yes, thank you.
Just a correction.
So if no more questions, we'll see you again tomorrow at 4 p.m.
o'clock.
Same time, same place.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.